Ladies and gentlemen, how do? And let's see what we're up to with Pink's Fizzy, the next installation. The previous video, we were started to strip the swing arm down, get the shafts out, etc. Okay, so the bushes came out reasonably well. This was always going to be a problem. The pedal shaft. Okay, let's have a little look. You see the clip on there? It comes in from that side. It was tight. Been in there 50 years. Okay. So, why was it tight? Okay. Never been lubricated, probably never been rotated. But from what I see is the only way you can get ingress in from water, etc., to cause it to expand and to corrode is from the ends here. So it was never going to be tight in this section, which is just as well because it's got a sleeve in it. You can't get to it. Just as well you can't. So you don't get many shots at getting this out. Okay, it's going to be tricky. So what did I do? Someone had tried before to do it. So I got an angle grinder with a slitting disc in, and I took just the tip of this off. I also put a little taper around the edge of the shaft. You know when you use a chisel and you whack it a few times and it mushrooms? Well, if it mushrooms, it's not going to push out of that swing arm because you've increased the diameter of it. It's not going to happen. I know it's basic stuff, but perhaps you don't know. Anyway, that would be an issue. So put a taper on the edge of it because I knew I was only going to get so many goes at this. Put a considerable amount of heat into these sections here because that's where it was going to be tight. Take your time with it, get the heat built up in it. Again, do it outside. Fumes, combustible materials, etc. Do it outside. So I had a good old session with that, warming that up, and then I thought, right, okay, we're ready to go. Large copper hammer, supported one end with a large socket, give it a good whack, a couple of times, out it came. But like I said, if you didn't get out in the first go, you were going to struggle. So obviously that shaft is scrap. That's a given. Not worried about that. I was more interested in salvaging an original swing arm that went with the bike, and I believe they're getting a bit hard to find. Anyway, we didn't have to find one, which is great. So what we're up to now? I'd had the swing arm blasted, grit blasted, because there was obviously it was in a poor condition. All the paint had flaked off and the rust had started to eat into it. Now, it's not affected it structurally. It's really cosmetic, and we want the bike to look right. You know, Pink wants this in his living room and he wants to hand it down through his family, and so he should, and that's what we're going to do. So, a few issues here. We've got the pit marks where the rust has been. You can see them on here, which are relatively small, but they'd stick out like a sore thumb. And then we've got some that are a bit more severe here, there as well, a little bit here. I mean, some of these you won't see, but that still matters to me that we cover them up. So we're going to look at dealing with those issues now. Oh, and of course inside the swing arm where the chain has been coming off. So I need to have a look at that, get that sorted out. So blasted it. I've given it a coat in 2-pack primer, 2-packs nasty paint, but it's incredibly strong. So make sure again you wear a mask, you do it outside. If you're not sure, give it to a paint shop to do it for you, because it doesn't. 2-pack doesn't rely on the solvent evaporating from the paint when you put it on with a normal aerosol. There's a reaction takes place and the paint hardens, so you get virtually no shrinkage and a very hard finish which adheres well. Okay, that's what we need to do. So I'm going to deal with the problems on this swing arm in a few different ways. Can I just say something at this point? A good friend of mine, Denny, he says, Chris, you talk about stuff but you don't show us how to do it. Well, that's a fair comment, Denny, and for you I'm going to have a change of heart, and this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to show you what I'm doing as well, rather than just say, here we are, I've done it. Okay, so just for you, Denny, we're going to have a look at it. So the larger dents like these, I'm going to use normal car body filler, okay, polyester body filler. We won't need a lot, it's inexpensive, you can get in smaller tubs than this, but if you're doing restoration work, it's an essential really, so get yourself some of this. We need that, we need a catalyst, which is what we've got here. I'm going to show you the ratios in a bit, but I'm going to be using very small amounts. Also, buy yourself some plastic spreaders for putting the filler on. Don't be a tightwad, don't try and put it on with anything other than the right equipment. You'll probably get a 10 of these for £1, you know, and you'll do the job right, okay. And when that filler's gone off, give it a bend or a twist, scrape with a blade, it's back in use again, so you can reuse them, so don't be a tightwad. Right, bear with me, I forgot my screwdriver to open the body filler with. Don't go away. Right, here we are, we're back. Let's have a look. So, body filler first, and I'll show you putting the stopper on. So let's get this popped open. I do tend to wear gloves, but as you've seen by virtually everything I do, I put gloves on, and do you know, I should be doing it with this, shouldn't I? I should be doing it with this. Right, okay, that's open. Listen, bear with me again, I'm going to get some gloves. You don't want anything on your hands other than that what you need to. And again, your hands, your most precious tool in there that you have available, and nitrile gloves, relatively inexpensive, so get yourself some bought. If you get a good fit, you get a good feel off them, so you're not like, it's not like you've got mittens on, you know, just do it properly. So we're not going to mix a lot of filler here because it's you don't want to be throwing it away. I want to mix it and put it on the swing arm. Alright, so let's have a little look. I'm going to get a little bit there. That's all I'm going to put on. Well, go on a little bit more. That's it. That's all we're going to need. The idea is with body filler, you put it on, you shape it with your production paper, wet and dry, etc. Then you prime and you paint it. You don't keep putting it on and off all day, you know. So let's get the right amount on. Let's do it right. Take it from there. I'm going to need a very small amount of catalyst with this, and you'll see how little I'm going to put on. Let's have a little look. Bear with me. I'm sure there's some in that tube. Yeah, there is, lad. Okay. A little bit more. A little bit more. That's going to do it. We don't need a lot. The warmer the day is, the warmer the ambient temperature that is, the quicker this will go off. Alright, so bear that in mind. When you mix it, get on with it. Don't mess around. Let's get it fitted. Now, we're going to give that a good mix in. I don't want to see any of that red, pinky hardener that you can see. We want to have all disappeared, and then all by doing that, we've mixed it thoroughly. If you don't, part of it will go off, part of it won't, and it'll look a right old mess. Right. So like I said, I've just mixed a very small amount, and we're going to put that onto these lightly damaged areas. A little bit on there, onto here. And there we are. We're just going to fill the low spot. That's all I need to do. No more than that. I might have to do a little bit more on later. Okay, but that's all I have to do in filling the low spot. Same again here. That's done, and we've got a little bit up here which I need to deal with. And that's it. When that's dried, I'll give that a sand back, and might need a little bit more, it might not, but we'll come to that. Okay, let me just check on the inside. I think I'm going to have to put some in here where the chain damage is. Again, this isn't structural, this, it's cosmetic, and you won't be able to see it. However, I will know about it, and it will irritate me knowing it's not right, even though you can't see it, you know. Like I said, you don't need loads on. I'm just filling the low spots. Just filling the low spots. That's enough for there. There's no major dents on that side. I'm going to put a little bit on there. Don't you remember, this was quite badly damaged. I've straightened it out, and that's just to tidy it up a bit. We need it right. Like I said, Pink's handing this down to his family members. Looking like a rare item now. That's dealt with those sections there where the damage is a bit more severe. Put that to one side to go off, then I can clean that spreader off. Don't be a tightwad, remember. And on that note, let me get another spreader. I brought a used one out I've not cleaned. Right, so the next bit we're going to look at is using another type of filler called a stopper. It's a very, very fine paste. It doesn't need to be activated. You can put it on as it is, let that dry, and you can start to sand that back with some wet and dry. I'll show you how we do all that later on when I come to do more on the swing arm. So body filler, stopper. Think of it like, it's like a very thick paint, if you like. That's the easiest way to do it. It's ideal for doing fine repairs on bodywork, on you know, pit marks. You see, a lot of people, they go and powder coat things. You know, they can't help themselves. They've got to go and powder coat it. The problem is the powder coating process. They grit blast it, and then they might prime it, and they put the powder coat on. The issue going to be, all these little rust marks on here are all going to be visible. You'll have shiny paint, but they'll all be visible. For me, it looks like a pig's ear. Take the time, do it properly. Okay, I'm not a fan of powder coat, as you can tell. So yeah, it's a slow ball process. You know, I was thinking the other day, how long is it going to take me? I'll probably have a full day on this swing arm. You know, a full day on it, which is quite a bit of time. But I know when it's done, it's going to be right, and that's what we need. So all I'm going to do now is, so I don't disturb any of this filler I've put on, let's have a look at these rust marks here. Again, not structural, but cosmetic. And like I say, you probably won't know. Well, I'll do this other side of the swing arm. I'll do it here. So there's some pit marks along here. So I'm just going to show you how you do with this. And like it's with the other filler, you're not after putting a lot on. I'm just after filling the low spots. I'm effectively putting it on, scraping it off. Can you see all those dots there? They're the low spots. That's all I'm after doing. If I put a load on it, I'm just going to rub it back off again. You know, waste material and time. So let's have a look at doing it this way. And I want it so we're just filling the low spots, and you can see them now, can't you, coming through. I'll just do a couple more on this side so you can see what's going on. The damage there. Right, okay. So again, I'm going to go along here. I'll go along here. I'm going to scrape off the excess. Like I said, we don't want to cover it in the stuff. We're just going to fill the holes, which you can see. So some more along there, just to show you the process. So these dark spots you can see are all those pits off the corrosion process being filled in. So when I come to sand this back with some wet and dry, 600 grade, I would think. It's not going to take a lot. I've literally just filled the low spots. Right, okay. I'm going to do some more of this now, but it's going to be a bit like watching paint dry for you. But you've got the process there. For the larger dents, body filler, polyester body filler with a catalyst in. For the smaller marks, we can use a stopper. I'll get these from any paint supplies, any automotive paint supplies. Great product. Nothing needed. That's going to go off on its own. No catalyst needed. That's going to air dry. Is there anything else? Do you know, I don't think there is. Like I said, I'm going to get on with doing the rest with this stopper. And well, listen, if you like the video, click like. And if you would, subscribe. That would let me know that people want me to keep making more videos, which I will, hopefully. And yeah, okay, ladies and gents, be lucky. Catch you again.